What's going on, guys? It's me, Zombie here, and today we're going to be going over something huge for Phasmophobia for their Halloween update. This Phasmophobia update is called Nightmare. Um, I will be streaming it later. I went over the patch notes over on stream, so I thought I might as well record it after I finished streaming and went over the patch notes, so on and so forth. Um, so welcome back. We got some news for you. This is just their normal thing that they do with most patches. Um, We've had reports of paranormal activity near an old campsite. We need you to investigate as soon as possible to find out the cause of these ghostly sightings. New paranormal entities have also started to reveal themselves in several haunted locations. Be careful out there. The weather has become a lot more intense recently, and it may hinder your investigations. So the Maple Lodge campsite, a brand new medium-sized map featuring picnic areas, games, multiple tents, and a log cabin in a haunted lake. I didn't see the lake when I played it. I did not see any sort of lake at all. So you could only imagine right now. The Maple Lodge campsite has more unique objects, higher object density, and more visual detail. Minimum specification computers should have no issues, but if you have outdated hardware, you may see FPS drops. Other locations will receive more detail and more unique objects at a later date. In the future, other locations will receive a new truck minimap design to be consistent with Maple Lodge campsite. Which the minimap is actually kind of neat. It actually shows you as a little dot, and then you run around the area. So I think that's what they're going to do for most of the new maps, or for the older maps, they're going to rework it. So the difficulty rework. This is crazy entirely. So all difficulties have received a major overhaul. We hope these changes make each difficulty feel more unique and provide more options for players of every skill level. So if you're still not comfortable on professional, but you're like level 200 and you still do amateur or intermediate, awesome. This works for you. So they've changed some other stuff to go with this. So amateur recommended for new ghost hunters. So they made this for if you're still coming to the game and you're new, this is what this is for. So long setup time, long hunt grace period, short hunt duration, sanity pills restore a lot of sanity, regain half of your lost equipment's value if you die. Seems to me it's pretty normal, straightforward. I mean, you regain most of your stuff back, half of your stuff. So luckily, if you do die, you get to keep half of it, which is cool. You don't have to deal with a very long hunt, and the grace period is very high. I don't know what the duration is for it. I don't really play, but they did change it. Professional was 3, so it used to be 3 across the board. Now to the point it is where excuse me. It is to the point where now the long hunt grace period could be maybe 7-10 seconds, maybe that. I don't know. They didn't really specify how long it is for these new grace periods. So, intermediate, the standard ghost hunting experience. Average setup time, average hunt grace period, average hunt duration, sanity pills restore some sanity. Fuse box starts off, fewer places to hide, regain some of your lost equipment's value if you die. Cool. Not bad. So professional for experienced ghost hunters. This is the main one we were playing most of the time. The ghost could very rarely change his preferred room after moving. No setup time, short hunt grace period, long hunt duration, sanity pills restore a little sanity. Fuse box starts off, much fewer hiding places. Now, the big one. Dude, this, to the point, is a game changer. Especially for solo people. I play on professional, but since they changed most of this stuff, it is crazy for some of the changes that they did. Nightmare difficulty. A new difficulty for the top ghost hunters designed to be a challenge mode for those seeking the most intense gameplay Phasmophobia has to offer. Ghost will not reveal one type of evidence. So let's say it's a revenant, which is fingerprints, ghostwriting, and something else, whatever. It wouldn't reveal one of those evidences, if that makes sense. So if it was, let's say as an example, the spirit should be freezing fingerprints and spirit box. So you can get spirit box and fingerprints, but it will not be freezing. Or you would get spirit box freezing, no fingerprints though. So that's what I'm saying. Nightmare is going to be something that is for those top people. Me playing solo, I will probably never do it. I will probably play professional more than anything. Nightmare difficulty is a game changer entirely. Nightmare difficulty is something that most people that are really, really, really good at this game can do. I'm not really good at this game. I just know my knowledge, I know how to play it, but I'm not an expert. Weather. So they added some new weather changes as well. Each time you start a contract, the location will have different weather, adding new layers of gameplay and making each contract feel unique. Change in temperature will make finding the ghost location more difficult. Rain or wind will impair your hearing, and a thick fog will reduce visibility. So you got clear skies, you got fog, you got light rain, heavy rain, strong wind, and light snow. I actually saw the light rain and the light snow. The light snow looks so good. I'm so glad they added this weather change compared to just Tanglewood only having their rain, the heavy rain. Crazy. Ouija board. So the Ouija board didn't make as much sense as we'd like, so it's been revamped. You've now traded sanity for information and are penalized less if you don't get a response. So the Ouija board will now lower your sanity greatly when the ghost responds. If the ghost doesn't respond, you will only lose a small fraction of sanity. Also, they changed the demon's weakness to reflect these changes. So the demon before this update was, their weakness was if you talk to a Ouija board, you wouldn't lose any sanity if it was a demon and you got it correct. You wouldn't lose sanity at all. Now they changed it to where if it is a demon and you ask, you won't lose as much sanity if you got a response. So as you can see up here, it says will now lower your sanity greatly when the ghost responds. This is for no demons. For a demon, it's probably going to lower a little bit. So it's not going to be as a huge gap. I don't know what the gap is at all. Several new ghost types have been cited. These new ghost types have an enchant increase to spawn for the duration of the Halloween event. You got Onro, Twins, an Obake, and a Raju. I guess that's how you would say that. I don't know how to pronounce that. We'll go over, I'll bring up the ghost stuff for them. Like I'll probably go in game and I'll pull up the journal for you just to go over these new ones. So when crouching, the player's collider now shrinks to match the player model. Ghosts will now disrupt electronic equipment when they are visible, which means if you were back then, if you were being hunted, that's when it would do the disrupting electronics. Anything that you were holding by EMF, camera, flashlights, spirit box, anything. Now, anytime the ghost is visible, it shows itself during a ghost event, all of that happens. So the thing is now, you don't know if you're being hunted at all. So it's a whole new ball game. Ghosts can now blow out lighters similar to candles. Pretty neat change. Using the walkie-talkie will now attract the ghost during hunts. The walkie-talkie will now only play static when when you're near the ghost. So whenever you had those electronic disruptions, that was when the ghost was near before this new patch. You could still use the walkie-talkie because the walkie-talkie was disrupted, so that's how you would know the hunt's over. Now, not so much. You do not have the ability to do that. You have to guess in your head. You have to take a guess in your head now to realize when can I leave? When is it not hunting? I experienced that for the first time, and it's a lot more spooky. The lighters and candles will now extinguish when outside in heavy rain and when thrown. I guess if you actually throw the candle, it'll go out. If you place it, it shouldn't matter. The truck map screens have received new icons. Kind of neat. The ghost can now interact with several showers in certain locations. I don't know how the shower is going to work. I'll do that in my off time just to go into a map and check out the shower just to see. You can now place sound and motion sensors on floors. So you only used to be able to put them on walls. Now you can actually put it on the floor. Kind of cool. And then they got a bunch of changes. I'll go over these pretty quickly. They're just some changes. All ghost speed and acceleration when chasing a player has been slightly increased. Ghost hunt duration has been lowered on small and medium maps. Ghosts now have a low chance to not leave fingerprints when interacting with the environment. Fingerprints now disappear after 60 seconds. Attic and basement ghosts will roam less often. Attic and basement ghosts will now only roam to the next floor and not to the other side of the map. Thank you. All contracts are now selectable at all times on the map screen. So meaning, whenever you pick a map on Phasmo, there used to be a time where if you wanted to play Tanglewood, it didn't show up. You would have to leave, do a new lobby, then try to get it. If you still didn't get it, you have to do that. All the maps now are on the screen, no matter what. You always have a map up. It doesn't matter what map you want to play. If you always want to play Tanglewood for 3 hours, you can do it. You want to play Prison all the time, you can do it. It's however you want to play the game. They finally figured out that there was no point of having not all the maps on the screen because of the fact that everyone would just leave and get the map they wanted anyways. It just made it a whole lot easier for people. So the average sanity will now be accurate instead of being random. The contract difficulty will now default to the difficulty you last played, which means if you played Nightmare but then you want to go to professional, you have to go to professional. So then it would change that to the default for all the other maps. So you automatically get play on Nightmare. The map description has been replaced with a difficulty description. Yep. The bone can now be a random bone from the human body and has new visuals. I haven't seen this bone yet. We might go to Tanglewood and look at it. I don't know. Probably not. I'll just show the. I'm gonna only show off the ghost stuff, and I'll look at these on my off time. I do stream. Stream is normal, as my name in YouTube, King X Zombie. Anyways, ghost footsteps can now only be heard when the ghost is moving. So if it's standing still, you wouldn't hear that footstep sound because it wasn't moving, so it shouldn't have been there. But now when the ghost is actually moving, that's when you'll hear footsteps. Changing screen resolution in the journal now offers confirmation, which is cool. Freezing temperatures evidence has been changed to account for the new weather. Require a lower reading on the thermometer. Breath has been unchanged. So you're still going to get the same breath effect for freezing temperatures. The fuse box on and off indicator has been split into 2 different lines instead of the one that changes colors. So there's one red light, one green light. It'll just switch over once it's off or on instead of the one light that just changes green to red. Ghost sounds will now fade out instead of abruptly stopping. Sorry about that. Ghost handprints and footprints have received new textures. Haven't seen those yet. Lighters will now turn off when swapped into your inventory. I've never had that issue though. I've never had an issue where the lighters would still be on if I switched it in my inventory and came it back. It wouldn't still be on, I don't think. Unless I never noticed it. Or I just usually turn it off anyway. I don't know. Ghosts can now blow out candles when the lights are turned on. So if the light, usually last time when the lights were on, the ghost would not blow out the candle for whatever reason. It was kind of weird. But yeah, now the ghost will blow out the candle inside of a room that's bright and so on and so forth. Several rooms have been renamed on Edgefield, Bleasdale, and Grafton. Just change some room names. All ghost events will now last a minimum of 1 second. This is kind of nice, so then you have that split second of trying to get the photo if possible. Because before they would spawn, but not even for a second. It'd just be a 3 milliseconds. I mean, it was quick. It's right as they saw you and they switched back off. Super quick. So I'm glad they made it at least 1 second. Window knocks will now give noise on the parabolic, which is cool. Several photo frames have had their photos replaced. The heartbeat will now fade in and out. The volume has also been lowered. And then these are just some exploits they fixed and other stuff they fixed, so on and so forth. So let me go inside of a game. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go inside of a game real quick, and we're going to look at the 4 new ghosts and go over their descriptions. So I will see ya in a minute. Alright guys, I'm back. So one thing, let me actually do this. I'm just doing a display capture. I'm gonna turn this down since there's a... Actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and mute it because there's no point. So this is what happens in Nightmare. Let me mind you. You don't get to see your sanity, and you don't get to see the strength of the ghost for any reason. This is Nightmare. I don't know if the description changed. We are unsure if the ghost responds alone or to a group. Okay, that's normal, whatever. Okay, cool. But this is Nightmare. That's heavy rain. That's a new lightning effect. Very new lightning effect, I might say, because I've never heard that lightning strike. And I'm on Tanglewood right now, as you can see, Tanglewood. But this is Nightmare. You didn't hear the lightning I did. It's a whole new thing, but whatever. This is Nightmare once again. Don't get to see you don't get to see your sanity, and you don't get to see the activity of the ghost. So you are very limited of what you can see. Anyways, to the 4 new ghosts. The Onryo. The Onryo is often referred to as the Rightful Spirit. Steal souls from dying victims' bodies to seek revenge. This ghost has been known to fear any form of fire and will do anything to be far from it. Extinguishing a flame can cause an Onryo to attack. When threatened, this ghost will be less likely to hunt. So I guess if you were to threaten it more in the game, it will obviously it probably won't attack you. So candles are going to be your friend, lighters are going to be your friend, anything with fire. There's actually a campfire on the campsite map, which is actually really neat. I'm pretty sure you can light it. For the Onryo, if it is an Onryo, it will not come near you and attack you if that's the location it's at, which is kind of cool. The twins. These ghosts have been reported to mimic each other's actions. They alternate their attacks to confuse their prey. Take that in for a minute. These ghosts. So it's 2 in 1. 2 in 1. Now, like I said in the patch notes, for the evidence, it's EMF 5, Spirit Box, and Freezing. Onryo is a Spirit Box, Ghost Orb, and Freezing. Whatever. So, as an example, you could get EMF 5 and Freezing, but you're not going to get Spirit Box. You have no way of knowing what the other evidence is. Obviously, you can come in here and you could do this, like anything like that, or because, like I said, it would be freezing. But then you got these 4 ghosts. So, like, you can get this other one, which is not allowed. You're not going to be able to get it at all. The Raju, or Raji. I'm going to say it's Raji, whatever. Raji is a demon that thrives on electrical current. While generally calm, they can become agitated when overwhelmed with power. So they go off of the electricity and the maps. Raji can siphon power from nearby electrical devices, making it move faster. So also, whenever it's hunting and you have your electronic equipment off, which you shouldn't, or you shouldn't have it on in the first place, might be a better idea to go ahead and turn it off now. Rajis are constantly disrupting electronic equipment, making it easier to track when attacking. So if that means while it's hunting, that's not smart. You wouldn't technically do that, but to the point of it being where if it's just constantly doing it all the time, makes sense. Now the last one is the Obig. Obig are terrifying shapeshifters capable of taking on many forms. They have been seen taking on humanoid, there we go, humanoid shapes to attract their prey. When interacting with the environment, an Obig will rarely leave a trace. So that's the strength and weaknesses. Sometimes this ghost will shapeshift, leaving behind unique evidence. Don't know what that means at all. That could leave some crazy stuff. Know what I'm saying? Crazy, crazy stuff. But your evidence is still the same. They haven't added anything new by any means. So you still got everything in here like normal. All the ghosty overview, anything like that. Pause menu, so on and so forth. But this is what trips me out. This is the craziest thing I have seen. Oh, and if you do want to see the weather real quick, because there's so far there's only been one lightning strike, but you can't hear the rain. But this is the new rain they added, obviously. Um. Oh, anyways, let me show you the main menu real quick, just so you can see it. Um. This is it. It's dark over there. It's very dark over there. Um. My hoops reset again. That blows, but whatever. Yeah. So the skull is part of the human body, I'm pretty sure. Uh, like normal. There is these photos, which I'm pretty sure were related to the new campsite map. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I will be streaming later today. Twitch will actually be in the description of the video if you want to follow, and then play along later. Just have a good time, watch. I'll probably be playing with some friends later. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, go ahead and hit that like button down below. And if you have any comments or anything, if y'all guys want to see with me streaming or any video ideas, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Uh, Definitely more Phasmo happening. If I do stream it later, I will be getting some clips and probably montaging them into one, and then just uploading them for YouTube or something. Or I could just record a little bit here and there, and then hopefully get some fun games. Or I'll record the whole thing, like every time we start one, and then go from there. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.